Okay, let's talk about something we've all felt. You're deep in a project with your AI. Things are clicking, and then you close the chat. When you come back, poof, it's forgotten everything. It feels like you're starting from square one every single time. Well, today we're going to talk about a new system called MemPalace that promises to fix this AI amnesia, maybe for good.
So here's the game plan. First, we'll dive into the frustration of AI's bad memory. Then we'll look at a solution that comes from a super unexpected place, ancient history. From there, we'll see how that idea becomes a digital palace. We'll unpack the secret tech that makes it all work, check out the incredible results, and then we'll wrap up by thinking about what this all means for how we work with AI in the future.
All right, let's kick things off with a problem I know drives so many of us crazy, the forgetful AI.
I mean, come on, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You spend all this time carefully explaining the context, the goals, the nuances of a project, and then the next day you have to do it all over again. It's a massive drag on productivity, and honestly, it's just plain annoying.
And this is where the problem really hits home. You know, when we talk to other people, our conversations build on each other. We have a shared history, a shared context, but with AI today, it's like every conversation is the first conversation. All that brilliant stuff you worked on, all that context, it just vanishes into thin air when you close the window.
So how do you fix such a modern, high-tech problem? You'd think the answer would be even more complex code, right? Well, the team behind MemPalace looked in a totally different direction. They went all the way back to ancient Greece.
They found their inspiration in this really cool technique called the memory palace. It's a way to remember huge amounts of information. The basic idea is you picture a place you know really, really well, like your childhood home, and then you mentally place ideas or concepts in different spots around that location.
So here's how it works. First, you get that location crystal clear in your mind. Then you start linking things you need to remember to objects in that place. Maybe you put a historical date on the lamp by your bed. To remember it later, all you have to do is take a mental stroll through your home and you'll see it right there. It's a surprisingly powerful way to organize your thoughts.
Okay, so that's the ancient concept. It's elegant, it's human, but how in the world do you take that idea and turn it into a system that an AI can actually use?
And that's where MemPalace comes in. It's this new, open-source system that's built to give any AI the one thing it's missing, a memory that is perfect, completely private to you, and most importantly, persistent. It never fades.
And this is where that palace metaphor just gets so cool. The AI's entire memory is structured like a palace. You have wings, which are for your big, broad projects. Inside those wings, you have rooms, which are basically individual chats or topics. But here's the genius part. You have tunnels that connect ideas between different rooms, letting the AI make these creative leaps and connections that you might have totally missed.
Okay, but hold on. Storing all that information has to be slow and super expensive, right? Well, no. And that's because of this secret sauce under the hood, a technology called Ogre compression.
I mean, think about the core technical hurdle here. If you want your AI to remember months of conversations, you have to find a way to load all of that data instantly. And you absolutely cannot summarize it, because summarizing means losing details, and that defeats the whole purpose.
And the answer to that challenge is AAC compression. Now, we don't need to get bogged down in the technical details. What you need to know is that it's fast, and here's the magic word, it's lossless. That means you can shrink down huge conversations, store them efficiently, and then pull them back up in a split second with zero, and I mean zero, information lost. It's what makes perfect recall possible.
So what does this all mean in the real world? Let's talk about the payoff, because honestly, the results here are pretty mind-blowing. First up, perfect recall. Not 99-point-something% accuracy, we're talking 100%. The AI remembers every single detail, exactly as you discussed it. Because there's no summarization, there are no algorithms trying to guess what was important. There is zero data loss ever.
And then there's this number, which is just, wow, up to 98% cost savings. Just think about that for a second. By compressing all the conversational history before sending it to the AI model, you absolutely slash your costs. This isn't just about saving a few bucks. This makes it possible to build powerful long-term AI agents that were just way too expensive to even think about before.
This chart just says it all, doesn't it? The cost of feeding an AI its own history, its own context, can be huge. With MemPalace, that cost just plummets. And the engine behind those savings is right here, a compression efficiency of up to 30 times. That's a huge deal.
It's what transforms a simple chatbot into a true AI partner that can follow a project for months and remember every single step of the journey.
Which really brings us to the big picture. This isn't just a neat piece of tech. It signals a pretty fundamental change in how we're going to work with AI.
And I think this quote just captures the whole promise perfectly. Seriously, just take a moment and think about that. What if your AI was a true partner? One that remembered every idea you had, every little preference, every single breakthrough you achieved together.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. We're moving away from AI as a tool that you have to retrain every single day and toward AI as a partner that has a perfect, shared history with you. So when an AI has a memory that's as good as ours, or maybe even better, what does that make it?